I bring the snacks and the Band-Aids, and you bring the vibes.
Yes.
That's how Jenna and Ashley roll through life.
Yes.
And that's how we make it.
And that's how we make it. And we are so excited to get to know you out there and let you know a little bit about who we are.
Yes.
As we start this adventure.
As you come along for the ride.
As you come along for the ride.
Revs on the road.
I'm Jenna.
I'm Ashley. And we're reverends.
Revs on the road. Hop in the car with us and come along for the ride.
As we step out of the pulpit and see what God is up to in the world.
We're not leaving the church.
We're just finding it in all kinds of beautiful places.
Revs on the Road is sponsored by the Pastoral Residency Program at Wilshire Baptist Church in Dallas.
The Big D.
The residency is part of Wilshire's Pathways to Ministry initiative. It provides recent seminary or divinity school graduates with 2 years of practical ministry and learning inside the church.
Residents,
like us,
are full-time ministers who preach, teach, and gain experience in all areas of church life.
Learn more about the Wilshire Pastoral Residency,
including how to apply,
at wilshirebc.org.
WILSHIREBC, wilshirebc.org.
Hey, girl.
Hey, you ready for this adventure?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm excited.
We're doing this, aren't we?
We're doing it.
We're doing it.
And I know you've got a lot of snacks prepared.
And a detailed map checklist.
Yes. Lots of large containers packed with snacks.
And first aid kits.
In the back seat. First aid kits.
And you, Jenna, you have prepared our playlist.
I have prepared the playlist.
And the vibes.
With great care. And I will roll the windows down when it's time to roll them down.
When it's breezy.
When it's breezy. And we need a breeze.
And when the spirit moves.
And you will make sure we don't die.
That's pretty much how we roll. I bring the snacks and the Band-Aids, and you bring the vibes.
Yes.
That's how Jenna and Ashley roll through life.
Yes.
That's how we make it.
And that's how we make it. And we are so excited to get to know you out there and let you know a little bit about who we are.
Yes.
As we start this adventure.
As you come along for the ride. Revs on the road. We are setting out on an adventure to jump out of the walls of the church. A place that Jenna and I have discovered that we both love.
Love it.
Which is a good thing because we have both jumped into vocational ministry. So it's good that you love the place that you were called to work.
Yay. Yay for that synergy.
We also recognize the beauty and the wonder and the good work that God is already doing in the world outside of the church. And we want to pass the mic.
Yes.
And to share those stories.
And that's been so lost in the church. Like, we've got to get out there. Mm-hmm. And we both have a passion for getting out there. So, Ashley girl, tell me why you are going on this adventure.
Well, I think our journeys to the church and outside of the church have been a little different. So I am a preacher's kid. PKs. And I really do fall into every stereotype of a PK, wild child, questioner, troublemaker. That is me, middle child.
I love it.
And questions are cute as a kid until you grow up, and then questions aren't cute anymore.
Oh.
Like, people don't really love questions when you're grown up. And so I discovered that really quickly. And the line from the hymn, Prone to Wonder, has been my adult life.
Wow.
Prone to wonder. So I have spent many, many years wandering outside of the church and found the most beautiful community outside of the church. A lot of times in bars, gay bars specifically. are some of the most holy places on this earth. I have found community in storytelling, communities in music, and...
She can sing, y'all.
I don't know. I don't tell people that often,
but I do.
Jenna will out me as a singer.
A darn good one, too.
And so when I did come back into the church, I realized that I wanted to make sure that the walls of my church are permeable. And so when I decided that I felt a pull toward vocational ministry, this project that Jenna and I were talking about seemed right. That, yeah, we can absolutely meet and gather and worship on a day of the week, sometimes Sunday, mostly Sunday.
Yeah.
Sometimes other days too. But there are also wonderful things happening outside of the church that we need to hear about and we can learn from, and we can join in the work that is happening outside of the walls of the church. That is so important that we need to hear about.
Yes.
So what about you? Why are you here, Jenna, besides being here for my snacks?
The snacks are so good. The snacks are so good, though. Oh my gosh. The DDP.
And I always
have Diet Dr. Pepper for those. Cheese.
I always have cheese.
We're open to sponsoring Diet Dr. Pepper because we truly thrive when we both have a DDP. So my story is different in that I am a daughter of a minister. My dad was ordained by the Southern Baptist Convention and found his path into chaplaincy. And I really was so formed by the church in some really important years of my life. My family struggled at times relationally, and I'm a child of divorce. And so, loved the church because it was this secure, stable place for me. And even if things were changing in my life or if there was a lot of transition, I had never experienced this solid ground before. And so when I would go to youth group as a 7th grader and make new friends and feel connected to community, it was life-altering for me because I had never found something that was so solid and so loving. And so I just loved it. I loved church. I was not wandering. I was prone to whatever the opposite of wander is. I was such a good girl in high school. And
you would have prayed for me.
I would have prayed for you. I would have said, "Aw, poor Ashley." I was sweet though, and I was sincere, but I was truly protected and trying to be really mature. Like I grew up really quick in that way and thought that maturity was my way to kind of grow up quick and get a feel for the world. And so I was like teaching Sunday school in like as like a 7th, that's like an 8th grader.
Really?
Yeah. I was like church kid, like loved to teach, loved the Bible, loved, I even kind of had like a small group of girls that I mentored in high school as a senior in high school. So all that to say, I was fully formed in those 4 walls of the church, and they became very sacred to me. Second Baptist Church in Little Rock, what up?
Shout out.
Best church in the world. A truly safe environment where the volunteers and the ministers took such an interest in me and changed my life because of that. So all that to say, I love the church dearly and am one of the rare ones who has had like truly phenomenal experiences in the church. My questions were welcome as a high schooler. Had some sprinkling of purity culture, but mostly dialogue, mostly affirmation. mostly safe space. Truly lucky. And I look at my story now because since leaving that church, I would say I'm excited for this adventure because my life is an adventure right now. I have just come out as queer, as part of the LGBTQ community, much because of our friendship and how supportive and safe and such, the safe space you've given me. Because as safe as that church was for me in those formative years, culturally, it wasn't there to be open and affirming for the queer community. And so I think about how God has led me out of the church, out of heterosexuality.
Truly out.
I am truly out. We're out here. We're out here, and it's an adventure every day. Okay. Always an adventure when you're coming out. A painful, hard, exciting, thrilling adventure. And so
that we celebrate.
We celebrate
every part of it.
Yes. And that's such a special story that our audience will learn one day of how our friendship came to be. And but we're headed out both with a love of church and a love of the world. And I fully agree that gay bars are holy. I'm already experiencing that. I already have people coming up to me saying, "Oh, you believe in God?" I don't. And then I'm like, "Okay, let's sit down and talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's be friends."
Yeah.
And they're
fine.
like, "What do we do with this preacher who I just told her I was an atheist? What's going to happen?" But we both have that spirit in us. Mm-hmm. We love getting out there, and we love people, especially strange and awkward people, because we are strange and awkward.
The Revs on the Road podcast is powered along by Good Faith Media. Learn more at goodfaithmedia.org.
Ride along with the Revs on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Revs on the Road.
And hey, give us a honk by liking the podcast on your favorite platform.
You know what, Ashley?
What?
We're getting low on gas.
And it's expensive.
Yep, but we've got help. Let's fuel up with this word from our sponsors.
Second Baptist Church in downtown Little Rock recognizes the God-given gifts and graces in women clergy, just like Jenna and Ashley. And we believe the way of Jesus demands courageous conversations like the ones you're hearing. Second Baptist Little Rock is a proud sponsor of this work. Check us out at 2bclr.com.
I'm Reverend Starlette Thomas, a womanist in ministry and the host of the Raceless Gospel podcast from Good Faith Media. It's season 2, and we're still talking about that taboo trinity: race, religion, and politics. This season of the Raceless Gospel has 8 episodes, 8 podcast church services. The doors at this church are open, and we're going to talk about the sticks and stones we carry faithfully that break the skin and bones of Christ's body. And on each episode, we're joined by those who bring perspective and insight as to how we set these broken bones and perhaps make things right. The Raceless Gospel Podcast. 8 episodes released every Sunday beginning July 18th. I'm your podcast pastor, Reverend Starlette Thomas. Join us as we discuss the church in North America's bodywork. Learn more at goodfaithmedia.org.
I'm Reverend Jenna.
And I'm Reverend Ashley.
We're Revs on the Road, and we're back on the road after a pit stop.
Let's take a little detour, if you would.
Yeah.
Talk about some of our queerkiness.
Queerky. Yes.
Because I think that will help people get to know us.
Yes.
So we just talked a little bit about maps and destinations. We discovered this the other day about our differences on maps and directional proclivities. So talk about that.
Yes.
Jenna, where are we?
Oh, wow. We are in a metropolis in the South.
Good. We're making progress.
We're in Dallas, Texas.
Yes.
We're in a pastoral residency at Wilshire Baptist Church.
Yes.
We should also say that.
Yes, we are.
That's how we met. And that's about it that I know in terms of where I am. I am here in this moment with you. That's where I am.
Yes. We discovered this.
In this universe, in this dimension, with you.
In this day and time. We discovered that's how Jenna floats through the world, which is beautiful. Because I think...
Float is a great word.
But I think it's... We joke and laugh about it, but I think it's beautiful because it allows you to be so present. You're so present in everything, and you feel things, which we'll get to next because it also is part of your Enneagram.
Yes.
The way that you float through the world, and you might not know where you are in terms of a map and what street you're on, and where the church exactly is, and what county we're in, if a tornado warning is coming,
right,
which has happened.
I have no idea. I'm just like
you're fully present in the moment.
Yes,
that is a gift of your floating through the world. And when we were talking about this, I said, I am the opposite because I study maps and they're a comfort to me. When I'm having a really, really, really anxious moment, I literally take out the Google Maps app and I will just look at where I am and what's around me and learn road names and counties, and I'll zoom out and I'll look at maps. Have always been a comfort. Wow. And I confessed to Jenna a very big quirk of mine.
A quirk.
That one thing that I do when I'm super anxious is that I close my eyes and I will, in my mind, drive to places of comfort. So in my mind, I'll drive to my parents' house or to my best friend's house. And so directions have always been a thing that have grounded me. And so we're complete opposites.
We're complete opposite.
In that way. Which I guess helps on a road trip.
Yeah. But we're both like anxious people. It's like we both have anxiety.
We do.
And I mean, we're both pretty open about it, having struggled with it. It's so interesting. We've talked about structure, and I think I like rejected all structure because of my anxiety, because I'm like, I'm just going to float around and just like try to survive. And I still think my 27 years of survival is a testament to the grace of God. Because I do not know what county I'm in. I literally don't. I'm in Dallas County. I've heard it. I've heard it enough.
Good job.
I've heard it enough. I've heard of this Dallas County enough to know that.
You're correct.
And I was born in Pulaski County in
Good
Little Rock.
job.
In Little Rock.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But you could tell us, I mean, the zip code. I mean, you know everything about where we are and the streets around us. Yeah. Wow.
It's opposite. Polar opposites.
And so how do you feel about where we're headed, Ashley? Because this is a map that you can't exactly know where it's going.
I'm super excited.
And tell us a little about where we are headed.
So we are headed to interview a list of amazing people. One of our first guests is going to be an advocate for disability rights. And we are going to be interviewing folks doing work with mental health advocacy, racial justice, economic justice, some really amazing work outside the church. And I will map things out as I'm prone to do, but I also do love an adventure, which is a common misconception about Enneagram 6s, which is what I am. I'm an Enneagram 6. People tend to think that since we're so planny, listy. I love a listicle. Give me a list. And a plan.
Listicle, I never heard that.
And a fanny pack packed with survival and snacks, and I'm good. I still do love an adventure. I will ask questions about the adventure. Mm-hmm. Lots of questions.
Yeah.
But I'll go. Mm-hmm. I'll go.
Yeah. And so and the going is the big part.
Yes.
And we got to that.
Yeah. And so
we're here.
Yeah. Speaking of Enneagram, talk about your number, Jenna. That might help people get to know who we are.
I mean, I joked with Ashley recently that I'm the gas, she's the brakes, and I really didn't mean it in a right or wrong way, because I think both have dangers and gifts, but I am generally, I'm a 4, 4-wing 5 for those Enneagram nerds out there. I see you. So without the work of wholeness and healing, I'm very feeling centered, very emotion centered. And also very, vibes is a word that I use a lot, but it really is like a big part of my life. Like I sense out energy, I sense out, feelings from others. I'm very intuitive. I'm very spontaneous. I'm very impulsive at times. I'm very creative, innovative. Anything that's expanding and growing and creating, like that's kind of where my brain is. Mm-hmm. And so I sort of feel like I think my I know spirit animal is insensitive, but like my totem, there's different animals, but I really connect with the butterfly because it's a metamorphosis and a transformation. Right. I'm always very willing to transform into something new and something greater. Right. But with a butterfly, it's so in the air that like I have to really work at tethering myself and coming back down to earth and saying, okay, Jenna, when is the utility bill due? How long is it going to take you to go get that appointment? Or, when have you been to the dentist? Yes. in 10 years? I'm just kidding. I go to the dentist every year, but like, like those kind of things take a lot of effort for me because I'm just so up in the air.
Well, it's so funny because you tease me about this thing that I said a while back where I said, people say that they're happy to be above ground, Oh, yeah. And I wrote this thing. I said, I'm happy to be above ground. Yes. I'm also happy to be below the ether. And you're like, what are you talking about?
I still don't think that post.
And
I don't understand it.
Well, that's
above the ground, below the ether.
But like, it means what you're talking about, because I get that way too. Like the butterfly who's flying around and can't find grounding and where to go. But I get that way because of over planning. My over planning and anxiety and overdoing and over functioning gets me so balled up and
in your head,
so stuck that I'm just in this place way high above the clouds that there's no functioning for anybody. Like it's impossible to function.
Yeah. And
so there's this space in my imagination that's so high above us, that's so impossible to be. That's the ether, where we can't breathe, we can't function.
Oh, yeah.
And that place is not good. And so there's like this middle ground, like where we stand, where we're like have both feet on the ground and we're solid. So I think like
okay, I understand
now
that
makes sense. But like when you said you're the butterfly that's like fluttering, I'm kind of like the I don't know what
you're like. Well, you're hanging on tight.
Like yes,
you're like those little bugs that like hang on. I wish y'all could see her fist right now. She's like making
so tight.
I
love a list, and the funny thing is that I rarely follow the list. It's so silly, but sitting down and making them is comforting for me. It's just a thing that can't explain our things that we do.
But it's so beautiful how God has led us to work together and through this partnership and this collaboration, because those energies are so different.
Right.
And yet they have in common, we both are very creative.
Right.
And we're both very passionate and funny and smart and beautiful.
All the things.
So yeah, we've been led together to do this work together.
Okay, so do you want to do like a rapid fire? We have a few minutes. Do you want to do like a rapid fire question?
Well, I want to we're going to interview some great people this season.
Yes.
And so we're so excited about that.
Yes.
And I just want people to know that it's going to be really, if you are someone that's like, whether you're churchy, not churchy, you know, we just we're very excited to get to know you and share this content with you. And we hope that it's accessible and enriching. And we're going to meet some fabulous people.
Right. Yes. And the whole point too, is for us to pass the mic, not, I don't believe that there's a such thing as someone who is voiceless. There's an old phrase, you know, be a voice for the voiceless. That's not a thing, because there's no one who is voiceless.
Right.
But Jenna and I do have a mic because we have a pulpit.
Yep.
And one thing we will be doing is passing the pulpit.
Yes.
To these guests and letting them speak.
The pulpit is also the place where the preacher stands. For those, I want to be friendly to people that are like,
that are not
have
church.
never,
Yes. Yeah.
So if you haven't even like been into a church before, the pulpit is the desk. It's called the sacred desk.
Sacred.
But it's where the preacher stands and proclaims the word of God. And so, yes, we want to pass that. We really feel that God dwells within every heart and mind and is working through all of us, whether we've chosen the path that Ashley and I have chosen for vocational ministry or not. So you will hear us really, we're going to get to know y'all and stay present, but we really want to share the mic and the pulpit with our guests and learn from them and start some really important conversations.
Absolutely.
So yes.
We will be passing the pulpit.
They
will be speaking to the church by what they do and by what they say, what they have to say to all of us, whether you're in the church or not. So this is for everyone.
Yes, yes. If you live in America, you've probably had some experience with the Protestant church.
For sure.
And
be it good or bad.
Be it good or bad. And just know we're open to validating whatever experience you've had.
Yes. Okay, so rapid fire.
Rapid fire. Hit me.
Okay.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
What have you been binging?
Real Housewives of Dallas. I have no shame. It has served me. It is so good.
There is no shame.
For my Enneagram 4-ness, because they help me to take life less seriously. What are you binging?
Yes. Legendary on HBO. It is a series, a contest series on the ballroom scene.
Oh.
It is amazing.
Wow.
I'm a fan of the House of Escada.
Yes.
That's my favorite.
Okay.
Are you a breakfast eater?
Yes.
What is your go-to breakfast?
2 scrambled eggs, 1 piece of toast, and bacon. Also, I do love avocado toast, which is kind of basic white girl, and
own it. It's good.
It is good, and I refuse to pay $12 for it, but I can make it at home, and it's good. Love coffee. We both love coffee.
Yep.
What's your dog's name?
Gilbert, the goodest dog.
How good is he?
He is the goodest, and don't argue with me because I'll win. Gilbert's Whippy-tail Blythe is his name.
Forget the middle name.
Yes. He is a rescue, and he already had the first name Gilbert, but I named him Gilbert Blythe after the Anne of Green Gables series.
Amazing.
Because he's handsome and mischievous. He is the goodest. He's at home right now watching Dr. Phil. He likes to watch daytime TV.
I love that.
And Jenna, you have 2 mascots walking around here.
Yes, the podcats. The Podcats are Beanie and Tojo. Those were also the names that they had when I adopted them. 2 precious brother and sister cats. They have the same mom, different dads, which I relate to. And so I feel spiritually connected to them. Love them. Siblings. True siblings. And they're still processing their litter heritage and all that goes with that. But they do have the same mom, but they were of different litters.
Okay.
So
it's a blended family.
Exactly. Modern family.
You have a modern cat family.
I love it.
I love that. Yeah. We love all types of families here. Love it. So there's so much to look forward to on this road trip, and we are so thrilled that you're going to join us. You can follow us on social media. You can ask us questions on our social media. Reach out to us. Mm-hmm. We would love to hear from you.
Yes, who are you? Tell us who you are on our social.
And we want to hear where you are seeing amazing work happening in the world. We want to know where we should go, who we should meet, who we should talk to. Shout them out. Give us a holler and tell us where we should go next. That's it for this week's episode of Revs on the Road, produced by Good Faith Media. Stop by at goodfaithmedia.org.
Revs on the Road is sponsored by the Pastoral Residency Program at Wilshire Baptist Church in Dallas.
Don't forget to check out Wilshire's nationally recognized model for excellence in clergy training. Learn more at wilshirebc.org.
Ride along with us,
the Revs, Ashley,
and Jenna on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Revs on the Road.
And give us a honk by liking the podcast on your preferred platform. Join us next week.
We hit the road to North Carolina, where we find Reverend Becca Ray living into her calling as a disability rights activist and just a generally badass human. Join us as we step out of the pulpit, hit the road, and see what God is up to in the world.
We're not leaving the church. We're just finding it in all kinds of beautiful places.